Hello everyone, this is Hamish the Coo, here to introduce Miss Nikki, who today will be reading Blueberries for Sal. I Want Blueberries by Robert McCloskey. I'll throw it over to her now. See you soon. Bye. Hello everyone, let's jump right on in. Blueberries for Sal. This was published in 1948. One day, little Sal went with her mother to Blueberry Hill to pick blueberries. Little Sal brought along her small tin pail, and her mother brought her large tin pail to put the berries in. "We will take the berries home and can them," said her mother. "Then we will have food for the winter." And there's Sal, and there's her mother, and there's their car. Little Sal picked 3 berries and then dropped them in her little tin pail. Kerplink, kerplank, kerplunk. She picked 3 more berries and ate them. Then she picked more berries and dropped one in the pail, kerplunk, and the rest she just ate. Then little Sal ate all the 4 blueberries out of her pail. Her pail was now empty. Her mother walked slowly through the bushes, picking blueberries as she went and putting them in her pail. Little Sal struggled along behind, picking blueberries and eating every single one of them. And there's her mother. Little Sal hurried ahead and dropped a blueberry in her mom's pail. It didn't make a sound because the bottom of her mother's pail was already covered with berries. She reached down inside to get her berry back. Though she really didn't mean to, she pulled out a large handful because there were so many blueberries right up close to the one that she had already put in there. Her mother stopped picking and said, "Now, Sal, you run along and pick your own berries. Mother wants to take her berries home and can them for next winter so we can eat." Her mother went back to her picking, but little Sal, because her feet were tired of standing and walking, sat down in the middle of a large clump of bushes and ate all the blueberries she could find. She'll have a lot of good antioxidants. On the other side of Blueberry Hill, Little Bear came with his mother to eat blueberries. "Little Bear," she said, "eat lots of berries and grow big and fat. We must store up food for the long, cold winter." Little Bear followed behind her mother as she walked slowly through the bushes, eating the berries. Little Bear stopped now and then to eat more berries. Then he had to hustle along to catch up to his mother. Because his feet were tired of hustling, he picked out a large clump of bushes and sat down right in the middle of it and ate all the blueberries, kind of like Sal. Over on the other side of the hill, little Sal ate all of the berries that she could reach from where she was sitting. Then she started out to find her mother. There's Sal, trying to look for her mother. She heard a noise from around a rock and thought, this is my mother walking along. Do you think it's Sal's mother, or is it Little Bear's mother? But it was Mother Crow and her children. Caw, caw, caw. They stopped eating the berries and they flew away. Then she heard another noise in the bushes and thought, that is surely my mother, and I will go that way. Sal is thinking hard. But it was Little Bear's mother instead. Shh. She was trampling along, eating berries and thinking about storing up food for the winter, just like Sal's mother. Little Sal tramped right along behind. She said, why not? By the time Little Bear had eaten all of the berries he could reach without moving from his clump, he rushed off to catch up with his mother. He hunted and he hunted, but his mother was nowhere to be seen. He heard a noise from over a stump and thought, that is my mother walking along. Do we think it's his mother? Let's find out. No, it was a Mother Partridge and her children. They had stopped eating the berries and hurried away. Then he heard a noise in the bushes and thought, "That is surely my mother. I will hustle over there." There's the partridges, and there's her babies. But it was little Sal's mother instead. She was walking along, picking the berries, thinking about canning them for the next winter. Little Bear hustled right along behind. Little Bear and Little Sal's mother and Little Sal and Little Bear's mother were all mixed up with each other among the blueberries on Blueberry Hill. So there's Mother Bear and Sal, Sal's mother, and Little Bear. And there they go, separate directions. Little Bear's mother heard Sal walking along behind and thought it was Little Bear, and she said, "Little Bear, munch, munch, eat all you can, gulp, can possibly hold, swallow." Little Sal said nothing. She picked 3 berries and dropped them, kerplink, kerplink, kerplunk, in her small tin pail. Little Bear's mother turned around to see what on earth could make that sound. "Gruff!" she cried, choking on a mouthful of berries. "This is not my child. Where's Little Bear?" She took one good look and backed away. She was old enough to be shy of people, even a very small person like Little Sal. Then she turned around and walked off very fast to hunt for Little Bear. She said, "Where's my child?" Little Sal's mother and heard Little Bear tramping along behind and thought it was Little Sal, because she did not look behind her. She kept right on picking and thinking about canning blueberries for the next winter. Mommy needs to pay attention. Little Bear padded up and peeked into her pail. Of course, he only wanted to take a few of what was inside, but there were so many and they were so close together that he tasted a tremendous mouthful by mistake. "Now, Sal," said Little Sal's mother without turning around, "you run along and pick your own berries. Mother wants to can those for the next winter." Little Bear tasted another tremendous mouthful and almost spilled the entire pail of blueberries. Oh no. Little Sal's mother turned around and gasped, "My goodness, you are not my Little Sal. Where's my child?" Now she looks. Little Bear just sat munching and swallowing and licking his lips. Little Sal's mother slowly backed away. She was old enough to be shy of bears, even very small bears like Little Bear. Then she turned and walked away quickly to look for her child. There's Little Sal. She hadn't gone very far before she heard a little kerplink, kerplunk, kerplink. She knew just what made that kind of noise. Little Bear's mother had not hunted very long before she heard a rustling sound that stopped now and then to munch and swallow. She knew just what made that kind of noise. There's Little Bear. And they found their respective mothers. Little Bear and his mother went home down one side of Blueberry Hill, eating all the blueberries and full of food stored up for next winter. And Little Sal and his mother went down the other side of Blueberry Hill, picking berries all the way, and drove home with food to can for next winter. A whole pail of blueberries and 3 more besides. Little Sal's mother has been working hard. The end. Wasn't that a fun story? Let's say goodbye. Goodbye, Sal. Goodbye, blueberries. Goodbye, book. We'll see you a different day. Back to Hamish. Hello, everyone. I hope you enjoyed. Remember, like and subscribe, and we'll see you again soon with more content. Bye, everyone. Bye, everyone. Have a great day.